Hi! First, I have to say sorry that I sound like an elephant. I have a cold. However, I hope you enjoy the video. So, you are a new star rising on the art universe. You have a unique style and you don't hesitate to put all your free time into practicing. Great! So you basically have everything you need. No? What's missing? I need these fancy and expensive art supplies to make good art. No! I know you heard it about 1000 times before and you probably won't listen to it anymore. But expensive art supplies don't make great art. It's just like a kid learning to play the violin. The kid won't go to the first lesson with a Stradivarius violin. Or imagine someone learns to drive a car. Most of the people probably won't have a Ferrari or whatever fancy car right away. They might start with the car that one relative of them didn't want to use anymore, but before taking it to the scrapyard, it's still good enough for a novice driver. Yeah, I know. There's always that one kid with rich parents that has that expensive violin before even having the first lesson. And that one teenager in school who got a Ferrari 1 minute after passing the driver's license. But are these people better than everybody else just because they practice with the most expensive stuff? In some cases, yes, but most likely not. So back to our art supplies. Imagine the circle is the skill level of an artist. 5% might be talent. What I mean by that are the things that he or she was born with and that help him or her creating art. E.g. the person has a good memory or he or she has the ability to break down complex forms into simple shapes easily. 5% come from good art supplies. And the rest, well, 90% are simply practicing.
And for improving or practicing, you can use any type of medium, no matter what price level it is.
You may ask, but why are there so many artists using expensive art supplies? So, two main aspects make the difference between cheap and expensive art supplies. The expensive ones are most likely more pigmented. You get more vibrant colors when you buy them. And the second aspect is about the longevity of the artwork. Over the time, light affects the colors you use and the drawing or painting fades. By using expensive art supplies, this process is slower and so it has a better light fastness. But if you only want to practice, you don't need any of these two advantages. I tested cheap and expensive markers and noticed that the cheaper ones were even more vibrant than the expensive ones. And by scanning your finished piece, you can also save it in a digital way. So you won't have a problem with the light fastness of the colors. So when you see a beautiful painting or drawing, then the vast majority of this is due to years of practicing.
And don't expect improving a skill level works like this graph shows. It's more like this. It's important that you don't lose hope by having unrealistic conceptions. In the internet, you are bombarded with great art all the time, but this is most likely just 1 out of 100 sketches that was looking good enough for the artist to share it with the world. You won't have a linear improvement because on some things you need to spend more time to fully understand how it works. And to disillusion you completely, you probably won't ever reach the point where you are completely satisfied with your art. There is always something that could be improved, but that's perfectly fine.
And this you can do with any type of medium, no matter what price level it is. No expensive medium can teach you how to develop your own style, how to draw anatomical correctly, or how to shade a drawing. In my case, I even learn faster by using cheap art supplies. Just because I try many different techniques, e.g. with watercolors, without being afraid of wasting tons and tons of money. When you feel more comfortable with the medium and you want to upgrade, then it is only a small step getting used to this expensive art supply. Maybe the colors are now more vibrant and you have to learn to use more water to get a softer tone than you did before. I compared cheap and expensive watercolors in another video. If you like to watch it, just click the link in the video description. But basically I noticed that I needed more time with the cheaper set compared to the expensive one. The cheaper colors simply weren't that pigmented, so that I needed additional layers. But in the end, you can't see a big difference between the artworks. You also might need to find other ways to handle your cheap art supply. I ordered some Crayola markers and had some difficulties at the beginning with them. They are water-based markers, but I used them like alcohol-based markers. But by doing multiple layers with these colors, my paper was destroyed. I simply handled them in the wrong way. But what's the point of using water-based markers? Correct, you can use water with them. By doing so, I got a much better coloring result than before. I knew this technique from brush lettering I was obsessed with 1 year ago. Yeah. So what do all these things I said in this video mean to you? Firstly, if you have any difficulties with your art supply, don't give up instantly. Don't think they look shitty just because of their cheap price. Try to find creative ways to use it. And hey, you're an artist, you can't tell me that you aren't creative. Secondly, most art supplies which are expensive have a better light fastness. If you don't want to do an artwork for eternity, it's totally fine to just use the cheaper alternative. And thirdly, you don't need fancy art supplies. Just practice to get better and start it now. So, thank you so much for watching my video. If you like it, please let me know and give it a thumbs up. And please share your thoughts about this theme in the comment section. I really like to know what you think about it. And yeah, if you'd like to see more weekly art videos on my channel, then simply hit the subscribe button. And yeah, that's all I have to say for today's video. Thank you so much again, and I see you next week. Bye bye!